Hi everybody, welcome back to the Belt and Bond. It's Michelle here and my husband.
What's up?
Bobby. We are doing our Marriage May series, so this is another video for you guys. Before we get started though, please, Siri is all up in my conversation. Before we get started, please make sure you are subscribed to our channel. You can click the button down below. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and like our Facebook page. Everything is at the Belt and Bond. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We hope you guys have been enjoying Marriage May videos and Facebook posts so far this month. And take it away, Bobby.
What you mean, take it away?
Take it away. Start our convo.
What are we talking about today? We're talking about compromise, right?
Talking about compromise. This was a Facebook request. So all of the videos that we've done have been Facebook requests. So we're listening to you guys. We hear you. We're delivering your request.
So we're talking about compromise, right? And the concept of compromise. I don't know. What is compromise in our marriage? Let's define that. Let's define compromise. Compromise.
When we both want to get our way, right? But somebody may have to like yield or let something go to make sure that the other person is satisfied or something like that. Or that it's not like one-sided. Is that a bag or is that the oven? Should I turn off the oven?
No.
Okay.
It's okay. I don't know. Like that word is hard to define in our marriage because Michelle don't like making decisions.
Oh, that is a bag.
Just overall in general, Michelle hates making decisions, so she leaves all the difficult decisions to me.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, and so there's not too much of a compromise. I think if there's any kind of compromise, it's the what is it? The dinner, like restaurants and stuff. You know, just kind of where you want to go eat, and it takes 2 years to figure that out because I'm not a picky person when it comes to getting something to eat. My motto is I'll find something to eat anywhere. And
yeah.
Michelle's is very, do you want tacos? No, I don't want tacos.
And we kind of like the same thing, so it's not like, well, we went
true.
Kind of.
No, that's not true.
Okay, so I'm lying. But it's not like, well, we ate where you wanted to eat last time, so we got to eat something I want to eat last time.
No, it's where you want to eat, and I'll find something to eat.
But we both say that. Like, if you say that you want something, I'll be like, well, I can find something to eat there. And if I say I want something, you say I can find something to eat there.
No, it's always, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. And then she comes up and says, what about Red Robin? Or what about Kiki's? Or something like that. It's just always, and it's just like, all right, cool. That's what I've been waiting on for the past 15 minutes while we've been either sitting in the house, sitting in the car, driving from one place to the next. So that's kind of what compromise looks like for us. It's really the bigger thing is like when we go home. Mm-hmm. Those are when the major compromises go. So everybody knows, if you don't know, we're originally from South Carolina. We met at Claflin University. Started dating there, got married. I moved down to Orlando in 2010. Michelle moved down in 2012, which all of our families are back in South Carolina.
Yeah, as far as like our parents go. Siblings live elsewhere, but like our parents and stuff,
right.
We're based from South Carolina.
So whenever we go, it's always, before Scotland was born, it was always kind of like, oh, okay, we can hit this, we can hit there, and go here, go there.
There's a little uneasiness, but let me give them the backstory too. Like, so my parents are divorced. They got divorced when I was like 3 or something like that. So, but they both still live in South Carolina. So my mom lives in Greenwood, South Carolina, which is in the upper part of the state. My dad lives in Columbia, South Carolina, which is the capital. It's the middle of the state. And his mom lives in...
A geographical
Well, I'm just saying, so that, look, we got to... His mom lives in Winnsboro, South Carolina, which is like 30 minutes away from where my dad lives. And my dad's church is like 2 minutes up the road from her house, like maybe less than that.
From my mom's house.
Yeah, from his mom's house. So when we go home, it's like we have to make sure that we see everybody and that one of us doesn't feel slighted, that like, oh, we spent more time at your parents' house than we spent at mine. And especially like, you know, like BJ was getting to, like when it was just us going home, you know, our parents were, you know, kind of fine. Of course they want to see us, but now that Scotland is in the picture, it's like, whoa,
yeah,
baby, you got to make sure you see everybody.
And what we would do before Scotland was born was we would always our schedule was, if we got there Friday, we would stay at her dad's house. And then Saturday we would get up and go to church because my family comes from a Sabbath background. So going to church on Saturdays, and that was I want to go to church because I enjoy going when I do go home. I enjoy going on Saturday. But then it's also kind of like that ulterior motive, so to speak, where everybody's there. So you can just say your highs and your byes and everybody checking up on you. So yes, it's a longer day because you're kind of like you're waiting and you're having 5-10 minute conversations with people, just checking in on where you are and what you got going on in Florida. But once Scotland was born, it changed the dynamic a little bit, and it made it a little bit more frustrating for the both of us, really.
And it's already frustrating on me because I have two parents I need to see when I go home. Like I need to see my dad, and I have to see my mom. So then, not like adding a third, but like just having three. Like it would be something if like my parents were still together, so we just had one house to go to for me and one house to go to for BJ. No, we have two houses to go to for me. See, I get so frustrated just thinking about it. It's too much. I have two houses to go to just, to see my parents and then to see his mom as well. And that didn't even get into seeing grandparents and what grandmama did we see. And like it has
let me go on a little rant real quick. First and foremost, if you all travel, you might feel where I'm coming from. But if not, then hear me out. When you got people that travel to you,
like 6 hours, 7 hours,
right? Don't expect them to come to you all the time.
House to house.
It's always the case. Like every time we go home, hey, I heard you's in town. You want to come by? And you really want to, because I'm a compassionate person. First and foremost, I like still trying to get delivered from it, if you want to call it, work through it, and that's people pleasing. Like especially when it comes to my family, normal people, work, whatever. Yeah, I can say no to you in a heartbeat. But when it comes to my family, it's like, I'm going to try to get by there. I'm trying to get by there. And you never do. And now you got people feeling away. You know what I'm saying? And so it becomes difficult. So if you travel or anything like that, and you already got some anxiety that comes along with that, some of you may have 1, 2 kids, 3 kids, so on and so forth. Like you got to be packing up the car. Like we learned that quickly. Like to be packing up the car every time. Like before Scotland was born, we would be in the streets all day Saturday. Now it's like we're going around 2, we'll be back around 5, because we're not trying to keep on going from here to there all the time. And so that's the same thing when we come home. So it's very upsetting. Guess I'm venting right now. It's very upsetting to hear people just kind of always like, oh, can you come here? Can you come there? Can you come there? People are coming. You're traveling to see people, or vice versa. People are coming to see you. You know what I'm saying? If you know that they're coming to your state or coming to the general area, you make it your business to go see them if you really want to see them. Yeah. And so one of the things that we said that we were going to start doing is telling them people when we come home, like, hey, we're coming home this weekend. Yeah. If you want to see us, we can go to dinner together. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And just call it a day. So rant over.
Back to how we compromise.
Right.
So I was telling even BJ when we were thinking about doing this video, like there's always a little uneasiness when we get close to going home, because it's like, okay, well, where are we gonna go and stuff. Usually we do stay at my dad's house because it's like a central location in Columbia, but sometimes like we're just staying there. Like it's not like we'll be there at nighttime. And I was like, I don't want him to feel like we're using his house as like a hotel, because like, yes, we're spending time with him because we stay there, but it's not like we're there spending time with him. So it's like we got to make sure that we spend time with him. Like BJ said, we'll go to church on Saturday. My dad still preaches, so we'll go to his church on Sunday. And then it's like, well, how do we get to Greenwood to see my mom as well? So the compromise is just like, we know that we're usually going to stay with my dad, so we need to make sure that we see BJ's family at some point, whether it be like we go to his brother's house and everybody have dinner.
My brother stays like right around the corner from her dad, so that helps, because then my mom will say, "My mom, thanks, Mom, I love you." She's very kind of like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just meet me if y'all want to go to dinner or whatever the case may be, or
come by her job if she's working.
Right, and we'll go to lunch, but we'll take her to lunch. Yeah. You know, so thanks, Mama, for
you the
meeting
real
us,
MVP,
for meeting us in the middle right there. And my whole family, like my oldest brother Maurice, like, he is very, very, very like, it's okay, bro. If you don't get to see us, I saw you at church on Saturday. We'll pray for you. You know, so on and so forth. I had to throw that little prayer in there. Maurice like to pray. But that's just the dynamic. But it's still nerve-wracking. Like, you know, or wrecking, however you say that word. It's still nerve-wracking because at some point, one of us feels anxiety. Like at some point during the trip, every time, there is this tense moment that could change the dynamic of the trip overall in general, you know. And so when you talk about compromise, yes, we have a plan before we leave Orlando to go home. But when you get in the moment, and I think that
and things like people, can come up. So like we try to plan things there before we go, but then sometimes things happen like, well, they want to do this or somebody wants to do that, and it's like, well, that, you know, kind of messes up. So usually, like he said, somebody always feels anxiety, but then one of us, to be honest, I think almost always BJ feels like he's slighted. So I would say that it's, you know, usually always him that, you know, feels that way.
And then I also have a hard time articulating that, because when I'm frustrated about stuff, most people, you know, they shut down before. When I get frustrated, that's when I shut down, and it's kind of like a ticking time bomb, because I don't know how to pretty much verbalize that or articulate it. And so for the both of us during that tense moment, like Michelle asked questions, and I'm like, I'm good, and you just kind of go along, but you feel the energy.
You feel the energy before we filmed this video.
You feel the energy, and you work through it, you know. But compromising can be different or difficult, to come to an agreement, because sometimes, like, I kind of put everything in, like, what they call those when you put
categories,
things in
boxes.
Yeah. But anyways, like compartmentalize different decisions. And so if it's a big decision that we got to make, then yes, it takes priority. That's going to take some conversation. That's going to take some feedback. That's going to take this. The simple stuff, it really don't matter to me. But of course, there is an opinion. And then you got those things that just don't even matter at all when it comes to compromise. But when I look at the word compromise, of course, I see that big word promise that's right there in the middle, you know. And so that means that you got to come to some type of agreement or some kind of promise that you're going to stick by along the way. And we don't think about that in the moment, but even just thinking about it right now, you know, whatever compromising concepts that you might be dealing with, you know, we posted a post earlier this week about a fight that we had a couple years ago. And it was pretty, like, it was an argumentative fight. I've never put my hands on my wife. Just put that out there. But it was pretty big. And we don't know what it was now. We don't even remember what it was now.
It was crazy. It was like Twilight Zone type thing.
Right. But in that moment, we learned certain things. And so when it comes to like decision making, I think it came down to a decision or something like that. But when it comes to decision making, we've learned to just kind of put it out there, put your feelings out there. Don't be afraid to offend for the moment. Like, say what you got to say, but make sure that you're working through what you got to say and processing it, so that when it comes out, it's not as offensive as you hear it in your mind. And some is more difficult than others, because I think that if that was one of the major issues that we have is that one.
Which one? Talking about going home?
No, when we're talking about just coming to the compromising decision, and that is really expressing how we feel about the decisions that we make. You know, because we both kind of know, we kind of walk on eggshells around each other sometimes when it comes to major decisions, especially when it comes to going home or interacting with people overall in general, and compromising as it relates to people coming over. Like, I like people around. I like to host stuff. Michelle is more to herself.
I'm more of a misanthrope. It's like an 8th grade vocabulary word.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So.
I think though, like the bottom line with compromise is like take turns.
What do you mean take turns?
Like take turns so that it's not always one person getting what they want. So if you do something and like one person has to compromise, then the next time it's the other person that has to compromise.
I think that's situational. That can be very, very situational. Because that's not always the case. It's not always realistic. Like, major decisions, like it's just that there's, what I'm saying? Like,
but
it's a situational
so I'm guessing
thing.
with like the level 1 things, like the day-to-day,
just go to education
questions and
stuff.
things. Yeah, sure. Why not?
So that's really hopefully we've answered some questions to those that asked, how do we compromise in marriage, and then also how to deal with in-laws.
Yeah, that was one of the requests as well.
Thank God we have family. My parents love, or my mom loves Michelle, and I think her parents like me okay. And so we don't have too many in-law issues outside of when we come home, and it's not them.
Yeah.
So make sure we put that out there. It's not them, it's us, and how we perceive that visit that we're going to be seeing with them. So that's how we compromise.
That's how we come to a promise.
Right. So this has been one of our videos for Marriage May. And as we always say, like it, share it, all of that good stuff. But at the end of the day, the tagline: be bold, be blessed, be bonded.
See you next time. Ready? We should say something together.
Like what?
Like, hi everybody, welcome to the Belton Bond.
Why do we need to say that together?
I don't know, I think it'd be cute. Are you gonna say it with me? Maybe we can keep this one shorter at the end, or shorter and put bloopers in. Not that we have any, but like what we're talking about.